Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus here, obviously, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Look, I gave you my last message, but I wanted to add this to the tail end of it. I really want you to understand, even though you don't now, even though many of you think you do, even though many of you believe you do, it doesn't matter. You don't. So I'm going to tell you, just as is required to tell people who don't. No, God is real. All existence is due to a power outside of us. That power is invisible to us except it speaks in all that we are able to identify with the senses that we have been given to do such with. And we are a product of that power's creation, and everything has purpose, including we, the human beings. First of all, we are to be God like, meaning we are to be like our parent, that which we are made of. We are to think morally, act morally, and we are in a position of learning right now because we are living in what we call hell, because it is totally opposite of heaven. It is totally opposite of the will of the Almighty Spirit of love. And every last one of us are in school. And we're not being judged by the group. We are being judged by the individual. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. To make a long story short, since my message has been about life, since my message has been about the basic human rights, those things that allow you to be satisfied in this life, since my message has been about peace and prosperity and freedom and the experience of your dreams, since my message has been about not suffering from a lack of anything, especially stuff like food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, transportation, infrastructure, and all other things that are made by the hands of man. And I tell you how simple it is. All we have to do is each of us who benefit from it, which is all of us, engage ourselves in the process of making sure that we never run out of those things that we as people have determined are essential for our survival by putting our hands to the plow and working through a career that gives us our greatest joy. And we have nothing to worry about in this particular regard. Now, that's a benefit of knowing the truth. And yet, when we think about that truth being experienced in a nation, in a world where human beings exist, we know that if one person, if everybody else in the world was experiencing exactly what I just explained, and one person was not, that means that there is someone, somewhere, maybe more than one, but someone is forcing someone to live according to the dictates of another. And for whatever that reason might be, that one submits. So we got someone that's suffering pain in a world where God's love is to be experienced. Someone has violated that rule, causing that suffering. And on the other hand, for that to continue to exist, it means that the people, all of the rest of the people who are experiencing all of God's love, are complicit in the suffering of this one person. Meaning that it could happen to any of you, and if you don't change, it's going to. But it is an indication where you are being called upon to show your stuff. And your stuff is real, that ends. Whatever caused that problem, whatever is behind that problem is eradicated because you, the people, resolve it. And they can walk tall again, everybody, walking tall again. That's the way it started. That's the way it's being started all over the world where people are trying to come up with dictatorships. They start doing things that they know are not true. But in this school, my friends, what you are being as an individual called to do is, you've heard the expression, the straight and narrow. You've heard about that. Well, that means the individual. That means that if the whole nation decides to allow that one person to suffer because it doesn't bother them, it doesn't touch them, and you as an individual see this, it's like standing up watching a cop beat the daylights out of someone, and you stand there and watch it and know it's wrong, but you don't stop it. You become complicit in that beating and brutality of that person. And in the society, that's the same thing. You become complicit in the suffering of the people of a society. So I want all people, not just in America, to know that the suffering that you as people endure, it is at your own acceptance, own power, or lack thereof, that allows it to happen. Because one thing you also have been given is, if you know God, you would not submit to another. But you must know God, because this power out here will kill you if you resist it. And you know that. But you also must know that there is a God that's ready to receive you for being killed for doing righteousness. Meaning, you pass this test. I don't know what the next one is, but you pass this test. And that is, my friends, that is the measure of people on this earth about whether you have accepted God or not. To accept God means that you will reject all of that which is not like God, and you will give your life to make it like God. And losing your life is better than dying from cancer and strokes. And yeah, I'm telling you, my friends, if you're gonna die, oops, excuse me, die for something. Okay, talk to you later. Good night.